Oh, aloha, Dr. Clark.
Hey,
How's it going?
doing well.
Do you have a few minutes? We're actually doing five things you don't know about me. Did I catch you in the middle of anything or
Totally fine.
totally? Why don't you start maybe just by telling us a little bit about yourself, your role at HPU, how long you've been at HPU?
Yeah, so I've actually been at HPU for about 1 year at the end of January.
Oh, okay.
So going on my second year. I'm the director of the Hawai'i Rising Scholars Program.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Title III federal grant that is focused on helping first-year students at HPU be successful in their initial developmental math and writing courses. It just provides them a little bit of extra help.
I know it's off the top of your head, but do you have five things we do not know about you?
I do have five things.
Five things? All right.
Completely off the top of my head.
Okay, all right. What would be the first thing?
So not everybody knows that I lived in Japan for about 3 years after undergrad.
Okay.
I was teaching English in rural Fukushima.
Fukushima,
For
okay.
about 3 years, and along the way, of course, I picked up a bit of Japanese. So it was a little while ago, so I'm not as good as I used to be, but
You would consider yourself like maybe conversational?
conversational
Yeah.
is probably a fair description of my Japanese skills.
That's great. What a great experience.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Okay, that's one thing I did not know. What do we have another thing?
Yeah, so it's kind of Japan related.
Mhm.
While I was there teaching, I was also getting my master's in a field-based program. So every year in fall, we would go back to California for about 2 weeks
Mhm.
to start our coursework. And then we'd return to Japan and do in-service teaching projects kind of
Oh.
related to the it's a master's in TESOL, so
Right.
teaching English to speakers of other languages. And that program was about 2.5 years. So each fall we'd go to LA, and then in the wintertime we'd spend 2 weeks in Thailand.
Ah, cool.
Kind of bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
So that was a great experience. Really like field-based learning or participant learning really
Right.
helps you.
So what would be a third thing we don't know about you?
So my third thing would probably be also Japan related
Mhm.
a little bit. But when I moved to Hawaii, I had kind of a big car, which was more than I needed.
Right.
So this was the beginning of COVID. So I was working from home,
Mhm.
like a lot of people were teaching online. So I sold my big truck and I imported one of those tiny Japanese trucks.
Oh, right,
It's like a little K truck.
Those are so popular in Hawaii now.
They're really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, super fun to drive. It's kind of like a go-kart.
Yeah.
The steering wheel is on the opposite side, so
Right,
that
right.
takes some getting used to.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
What would be a fourth thing we don't know about you?
Not Japan related.
Not
this
Japan
time.
related.
I like cooking at home, so spicy food is usually my go-to.
Okay.
When I'm cooking. My signature dish
Signature dish. Okay.
is a paneer tikka masala.
Oh, that sounds good.
Paneer, for those of you who don't know, is goat cheese. It's like an Indian goat cheese. So you dice it up
Yeah.
into kind of like 1-inch cubes, and then you put like as much butter as you can find. It's a really healthy dish, but you put as much butter as you can find into a pan, and then you kind of fry the cheese a little bit, so you
Right,
get it nice
right.
and like golden brown, and then you add in the veggies, and it's like onions and peppers, and then to kind of make the spice mix, it's like a coriander and cumin and all of those things.
Wow.
But then you put in like a ton of half and half, and then a ton of tomato sauce, and that's kind of like the base. And then you let it stew for. It's a very forgiving recipe, so you can't really mess it up. But you let it stew for like 40 minutes or so.
That sounds good. Okay. What would be the fifth thing we don't know about you?
So instead of just going to the gym, which I do sometimes, I like to get out of the gym instead of just lifting weights, but do like practical like gym type things.
Right.
So I go bouldering here in Kaka'ako.
Oh, bouldering. Tell us about bouldering.
It's just climbing on a wall, and there's different challenge levels. So anybody who wants to do it is always welcome to join me down here near campus. But Yeah, it's a really approachable sport, I suppose you could say.
It's a good workout.
It is, yeah. So instead of like, pulling, doing like a chest fly or like a bench or something like that, you're just pulling yourself
your
up a
own
wall.
weight.
Yeah. So it's a more practical, dynamic kind
That's
of
cool.
fitness.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate your time getting to learn more about you.
Of course.
And I'm wishing you more continued success and aloha.
Thank you. Well.